I bring my dog down, so I might pop back in after.
No, I paused. All right. Martinelli gets the first down, and we are back. Thus saying you might not want to restart, you might not get this kind of luck. As that one back corner. I mean, part of it is luck on a sim. You never know what game you're going to get in store. Any given sim day, as they say. Martinelli falls forward and gets the first.
Martinelli's had some nice runs here down the stretch.
There's a reason why I said take him first overall in fantasy.
Another thing with the speed caps that have been nice to see some resurgence in the running game.
Absolutely.
It'd be nice to see it be a little stronger so you could kind of be a passing or running team, but it's definitely a feasible option now.
Right. I mean, the problem is unfortunately it's a give and a take. At a certain point, you get to we'll make the running game feasible and then kill off all defense again.
Yeah, exactly.
And Martinelli's in for the touchdown. I need a warm-up game. And so Vancouver takes a 34-0 lead. As we hit the 2-minute warning, Madagascar will stay out on the field on 4th down. Which I'm so torn. There's something about, and Dave, if you're still here.
He's not, he dropped.
He dropped? Okay. So I won't bring it up. I was going to say, there's always that question of the AI in 4th down and the old engine versus this engine. Because it was so finicky then, too.
Yeah, it's definitely been an improvement, even though there's lots of things we'd like to see different with the engine. It's much improved.
That's true. Milton has not been able to connect with his receivers.
I mean, if you look at that aspect, just Milton being able to connect with the receivers, and had a couple of times where they were driving a little bit and then threw a pick. And it's like if the offense just gets a little bit better,
Absolutely.
it will make the whole team way better. That's just time. It's players being active, doing their updates, making sure they get their development in, and
Evo upcoming with a
huge
huge catch downfield.
Huge catch.
Milton hit while throwing. Botterman is going to get the first. Wouldn't some awareness help this QB on the Hammerheads? Awareness would help. To a degree, part of it is just there isn't really many places to throw. I know this is going to sound like a broken record, but the Lions' defense is pretty good. As Milton is going to find Lighthorn for short, and it's 3rd and 3. Good awareness there from Milton, though. He saw the blitz coming, found Lighthorn, got it out. Blitz coming hard here, and it's a pick. Faith Sabor with nothing but space. Makes a hammerhead miss. Makes a second hammerhead miss. And the hammerhead just stands there. Can someone get me a clip of that? Because that's really interesting. Like, seriously, someone
like
get me...
running down the field, pushing him.
Right, and then he stands up and doesn't do anything. I want to send that to Debs, because that's interesting.
I've seen a lesser extreme version of that a couple of different times in the stream.
Yep.
I have to say, I think the Hammerheads kept it closer than I expected. Their
Absolutely.
defense is legit.
All right. What's our
And their
next?
offense really is young. I mean, Milton's in his first. He's got 1 year of experience, so
Yeah, this is his first year. He's having a rookie year.
you know he's gonna develop
Absolutely.
great things for them.
Yes, you had 2 interceptions. You had Cloudera and Morales each get a pick. All right. Mingos host the Rush. All right, PCAS, since I got you here, um, are there any uniforms that you want?
I have not even looked through all of our uniforms except for once, so I don't remember all the different variations
Good night, Green
since
Army.
I just got the game.
That's fair. Otherwise, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to pick one. We're going to put them in the away pajamas, because I love those. They're fun. We're going to put the flamingos. We're going to mix it up for the flamingos tonight. I'm assuming you can ping your locker room and let them know you're playing,
Yeah, I'll ping them.
because you're here. Uh, Flamingos black. There we go. This is the one I want. Expert picks. Fort Lauderdale has a 94% chance of winning.
This was the odd night where you basically have the bottom 6 teams against the top 6 teams.
Right. I mean, it's... And the weird thing is like you can't build a schedule around good matchups every night. I wish you could.
No, it's not going to happen every week.
We'll get there.
We've had pretty good luck so far this season, though. There have been some fantastic matches each week.
Absolutely. And the Hammerheads have kept their streak of keeping the games interesting. Every season, there's one team that will always just like put on some of the best games, regardless of who they're playing. Like I remember one year it was the Vipers. The Vipers were not good, but they just kept every game like really close. This year it's the Hammerheads. That's not a bad place to be. Yep, this was the right jersey. As Ramiro III will go over the middle for the first down.
He is just having a breakout season this season.
Absolutely. Runman. Robinson Jr. back to pass. Finds eyeballs James. Robinson Jr. has been having a really good rookie campaign so far.
He has. I've been really impressed with how he's played.
Alright, so I know the answer to
Total's
this
been a nice run there.
I know the answer to this question, so I'm going to ask it a different way. Because if I ask you what is your metric for a successful season, your answer is playoffs. So, I'm going to ask you a better question, which is, what is the one team that you think you can beat that you couldn't beat last season? As Thomas Noble the third, and aliens don't count. Thomas Noble will get the touchdown. Or let me ask you a better question. What team do you think you're on par with right now?
And I think we're just below from a realistic standpoint, I think we're just below the Silver Eagles
All right.
and a little bit more trailing the Lions. I would if I was ranking us as just as unbiased, I'd say we're the third team in the league.
Okay.
Um, I felt like last season, to me, success last season would have been making the playoffs. So I was disappointed we didn't make the playoffs last season. I think we had enough talent on the roster to do it, but just didn't make the plays when we needed to in some close games.
That's fair. Uh,
We're definitely more rounded as far as our depth this year. We have better depth, like a fifth DB and fourth solid wide receiver. So things of that nature where it's just team's a little deeper this year.
love it. Spiderweb gets tackled for a loss. And that white guy says Reykjavik is his goal of teams to beat this year that he didn't beat last year. I like it.
And I think for us, it'd probably definitely be the Silver Eagles.
That's fair. Goodbye, Kobe from the Froby. Thunderball and the Rush offense is actually looking alive, though. 6-2 coming out from the Flamingos. Pitch to Thunderball on the outside. He can't get it. The Truth gets the TFL. 6-2 again for the Flamingos, and it's the end of the first. Oh, it's got the throwback Rush helmets. I forgot about those. Thunderball flies forward, but not enough for the first. I think Bob Robb's going to be punting. Bob Robb Jr.
Tackle there.
Absolutely. Great coffin, though, from Bob Robb Jr. Robinson Jr. with nothing but space, and they just can't come down with it. So we used to joke with the Flamingos there will be a live execution on the field for a drop like that. As Cawthon is going to get the first.
Nice to see him getting involved. He was pretty active for us last year, and then this season he just hasn't been targeted quite as much.
Sometimes happens. I think the speed caps have also made tight ends have made tight ends a little more interesting of a position. And a little less target as Noble runs and makes 4 rush look silly. Noble's gotten 65 yards.
The big.
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
No,
I was just going to say that the big thing with the tight ends, especially, is just because their speed is lower, you don't, on that wheel route or the sideline route, they're just less likely to have that breakaway touchdown. But still a key piece in the offense.
Absolutely. Dash Runman will get the first down. Not the first down, touchdown. I have a feeling I'm going to be checking to make sure they didn't just wipe all the ads again. Oh well, I'll figure it out with Toasty in a minute. By in a minute, I mean tomorrow. Grab Catchman as Topher. Toph, how you been? Spiderweb with the TFL.
Dash was, I was super excited when we were able to pick him up as a free agent this year and bring him back.
Absolutely.
To the
It's a good pickup. Been relying on Thunderball a lot. Mason Jordan has only thrown twice. Now make it 3 times, and he's completed once. Bob Robb Jr. is going to punt this one. This time Vasquez has a chance to return it, but doesn't get too far. Robinson Jr. finds Runman again. He's been a reliable catch. I do love the Flamingo alternate black uniforms. They're fun.
Oh, sweet.
That was a fun conversation with Zelly because he's like building them, and I go, Zelly, you know you're using the wrong color, the wrong shade of pink. He's like, I am. So we fix up the
Oh,
pink
I
a
miss
little bit.
Ellie.
I miss Zelly too. It's like, yeah, you know I can get you the hex code for it, right? Rather than just wing it. Robinson Jr. throws at Eyeboss James and one-on-one beats his man. Have you seen, speaking of one-on-one, have you seen the 22 pass catching changes?
I have not.
So in 22, there's animations for catching. So right now we don't really know what happens when the ball is thrown. So like with the Eyeboss James, we don't know sort of what happened there. We don't know what the defender was trying, what the offensive player, what James was trying. What's basically happening is there's animations for all, like whether or not the defender's going to try and deflect it or what, and so that'll be good. So we'll actually see what's
Oh yeah,
happening
that'll
rather
be
than
great.
just guessing. And so Pablo is going to try and make it 17, and it's good, barely. Oh, I forgot to change it to night. Whoops. Oh well.
Nice hold there by the rush.
Absolutely. Rush defense shows up when it needs to.
Zanuck gets it back to the 15.
Jordan back to pass. Finds Virginia Emmett. Emmett's one of those up-and-coming players you gotta watch out for because they are dangerously good. And hit while throwing, he just throws it away. And he complete there. And so it's going to be a punt. So far, the Rush offense has not been able to do much. I think it's going to be interesting to see what the Rush, the Twisters, and the Knights do in the next upcoming 2 seasons. And the Dragons. And Ramiro III steps out of bounds in what could have been a
Oh,
touchdown. Just a little too aggressive with that sidestep.
that was a nice cut, but just a little too much.
Sometimes you get a little too flashy and it shows. Topher says here's what's going to happen every 2 seasons. They're going to lose to the Flamingos. I think the world is ready for another Flamingos dominant era. As Ramiro III will get a short gain, 4th and 7. Is that in Pablo's range? No, it's just outside. The Rush get a huge stop there. And it's going to be a touchback.
Misses the coffin corner there.
This is going better than I thought it was. Yeah, no, Rush are actually holding up. The offense isn't able to really do much, but the I don't even know what that was. But the defense has been playing pretty well for the Rush. Last play of the half, Jordan back to pass, short one, just overthrows his man. It's almost throwing it too early, so like the players can't, so the route doesn't develop. We don't have very good receivers. That's also true. I think you have Sanic, you have Thunderball's running back.
Zanuck and Virginia Emmett at tight end.
Emmett's a rookie though, so like
That's pretty much it. They might have Henry Berger lined up at wide receiver.
oh yeah, that's right.
is their other running back, but he's also a rookie. So, I mean, that's skill on the offense right now. So, I mean, I'm sure that's part of the reason the offense is struggling as much as it is.
Absolutely. West and East with the
You add
TFL.
a couple players to that and get Berger developed by a season, get Emmett developed through another season of development, and now you really start to have some weapons there.
Absolutely. Bob Rob Jr. with the punt. Vasquez again, nowhere to go. Bob Rob Jr. been getting good airtime on those punts. Short pass to Ramiro. Sideline with space. Gets the block from Runman, and that's going to get a touchdown. It was a quick block from
Ramiro
Runman, but
continues to be the most improved player for the Flamingos.
absolutely. Strong block, man. Santa gets to the 15. Jordan has time, throws it downfield, and it's a pick. Vasquez. I mean, I can't hate that play. It's third quarter, you're down by 4 scores. Hold here on dash run,
It's a
man.
tough chance, but you got to take that one-on-one shot, especially
Absolutely.
being in the position that they are score-wise.
Yeah. I can't hate that throw. It didn't work out. Obviously, the best laid plans fail in execution. But that was about as good of a chance as you were ever going to get. Ramiro the third, short gain. And Dash Runman. He's going to fumble, but Corey Williams recovers. Robinson Jr. Coffin. Oh, Odeon, if you're still here, don't forget to add our kicker and punter to the depth chart. Otherwise, I will. As Noble spins his way forward and gets a first and then some.
Nice pick up there by Noble, and that's one where if the speed caps weren't in place, you probably wouldn't see that type of run.
Absolutely, and I boss James with the touchdown.
It's nice to see James making some plays. He had a frustrating season last season.
That's true.
He has to be feeling better about his performances thus far this season.
He's got, what, 3 touchdowns so far?
I think so. Definitely, just some key catches in each game. Drops seem to, knock on wood, be a thing of the past.
Yep. Mason Jordan is sacked there by West and East as we hit the 4th quarter. I realized this was a night where there were 0 4s in chat. Oh well, I think Toasty gets the fun games for the rest of the week. As Botterman gets a short gain, it's 4th and 6. They're going to punt. And again, great hang time from Bob Robb, but this time Vasquez gets about 5 to return with. Noble the second.
I stopped there by Watt.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to text my friend and wish him a happy birthday and then call him tomorrow. I meant to call him today and then time ran away from me. It's 10 o'clock already. I feel like 10's the cutoff. Right? Am I crazy with that one, PCast?
From a personal perspective, I just have my phone go on Do Not Disturb at 9 o'clock. So
That's fair.
if
I'll
you're
shoot
not
him a
on
text.
my pass through list, then I don't see it till the next morning.
Even if they call you twice?
If they call twice within a minute, then it'll come through.
I was going to say, yeah. Isn't that usually like the way around it? So I'm on your pass-through list, right?
Do you have my cell phone?
Maybe. Plead the fifth.
I'm not sure if we've ever exchanged numbers.
I know who in the league has my number. I don't think we have. It's Thunderball.
Nice run there by Thunderball.
Thunderball's been consistently one of the better running backs. He is, if I were to like use an NFL comparison, he feels like a Barry Sanders. He is a really good running back that just needs the rest of the team around him to improve so he can just show up a little better.
And if you're the rush, I mean, him being your most experienced player on offense, like you're trying to find ways to get him the ball.
Absolutely. And the Rush are calling a timeout on 4th and 1. They're playing aggressive. I like it. And Jordan is sacked. Barry B. Benson will get him.
Benson. No quit in the rush, but Benson comes through.
Absolutely. And they're going to give it to Noble. Noble, good shifty. And Cobra Kai's it.
With 2:10 still on the clock, the Rush have a chance to at least get on the board still.
Absolutely. Santa gets to the 15. Who do the Flamingos play next week?
Flamingos are up against Hollywood.
Ooh, okay. And who do they play week 6?
Vancouver.
Okay, so Friday's going to be fun. Jordan has time.
Friday will be the measuring stick game.
It really will. I mean, I think the Lions against every playoff team is going to be the measuring stick game. I think the Lions, the Venom, and the Twisters and the Flamingos will be the measuring stick for each one of the other 3 teams.
I felt like our game against New Zealand last week was going to be, but I forgot that they were starting a rookie QB, and that obviously created a little more of a challenge for them and changed their offensive game plan a little bit.
I gotta tweak it a little more. We'll get it. I've got to play with the space rate offense a little bit more, but it is working. Sometimes. Problem with space rate is it's just so give and take. We don't have a running back, so I'd rather run space rate. As Fort Lauderdale kneels it out and wins 38-0. Tomorrow night we have our Dev League games. Should be a lot of fun. And then Wednesday and Friday, Toasty will be streaming our Major League games. I may be in the booth Wednesday. I will not be in the booth Friday. So,
It was nice to make a cameo appearance in the booth. Thanks for having me, TLK.
always a pleasure. And, yeah. I mean, if you're to rush your takeaway is you held the Flamingos to under 50. You got a couple of key stops. Yeah, the offense isn't there, but the defense absolutely showed up.
Yeah, definitely.
And so with that, that'll do it for the game. Alright. The Truth is your defensive player. Jamiroquai Robinson Jr. is your offensive player. And we will see you tomorrow for our Dev League.